我都是会说一句，哎，我已经在草里了，你们什么时候上？然后马上就到，哎，那其实变成有了街头暗号。是在不太化妆的时刻，看看视频。
All right, once again, everybody, welcome back to the Demacia Cup English coverage brought to you by Games in Asia. Once again, I am Pyrotechnics, joined by Froskerin, who's also running our wonderful stream today.
So yeah, I am running the stream, so hold on to your butts because this could be a bumpy ride, but so far, nothing's blown up yet.
So far, not. Well, one thing has blown up, and it is VG.S. They, well, imploded, rather, in quite the surrender of a game last time. We'll see if they manage to pull out a bit of a better strategy this time. What do you think they need to do to really get ahead of that? Their comp, their picks just didn't seem to be there.
I feel like if they got the picks that they wanted to, obviously Twitch a very contested pick as we come into picks and bans here. But other than that, it wasn't like they had a worse composition, they just played it worse. But again, into picks and bans, VG Gaming this side going to be on the blue side, Energy Pacemaker Hong Kong is going to be on your red side, bans coming out relatively quickly, Jackson Riven already taken away, so a lot of emphasis on the top lane.
Yeah, and they're focusing definitely on, well, carries, as well as the more standard pickups as well. They don't want Thresh in the action, and they certainly don't want to allow Evelyn into that one. I wouldn't be surprised if this last ban, though, goes over to Domho's Braum, or if they try to first pick it. They're actually going to ban the Cassin away this time, so nobody going to get to rock.
They're like, you know, we didn't do so hot on it, but we're not going to trust you guys with this Cassin, so we're just going to take it away off the table. Again, we don't really see a lot of Cassin and Bam, so very scared to see that. Braum, of course, being taken away. And it's going to give Ime the Lee Sin.
Yep, and this is definitely a champion that I would say just about every jungler in LPL, every jungler in LSPL plays to a relatively high proficiency. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I think that every single Chinese player who I've seen play Lee Sin has impressed me. Even if they're not what I would consider a top-tier jungler, especially in China. China not really known for the junglers, although I think there are a few standout names. Anytime they play Lee Sin, I'm always just like, wow, that was amazing. That was one of the best Lee Sin plays I've ever seen. It happens consistently every single game. On the other side, though, Energy Pacemaker are going to be looking at the OGN made popular bot lane, the Lucian Nami, which we've seen a lot pick up in LPL.
Yeah, there's definitely taken a lot of leaves out of the book, and it's not just because they've had a small influx of Korean players as well. This is just a strategy that is becoming more and more popular. And whoa, is this going to be a Twisted Fate lock-in for Zune right now? Please let it be. I would be extremely happy.
And again, Kale still on the board. We see VG Gaming looking at it themselves this time. Probably going to take it away from Amazing J, but is now settling on. That's not Frieza, that is Shyvana. With the clock
Are you sure?
Down.
Looks like the final form.
That's not even her final form. It's the Dragon Descent.
Oh, that's right. I thought that was like the middle form. Well, we're going to see a complete turnaround from what they were looking to pick up. Actually going to be locking onto the Twitch. Now Bobo going to pick this one up. So going to be a reversal of your top tier 80 carries this time. And it's still waiting to be seen whether or not they send Lulu into that, well, to be frank, any lane.
Typically, again, we've seen mostly Lulu tops. Haven't seen her mid in a while there. I think you may have played her mid in the EDG OMG game, but of course, Lee Sin off the board, so that leaves Kha'Zix. This is the 4.8 patch. China's about a week behind here, so Kha'Zix hasn't gotten smashed yet. Still a viable pickup in this mid lane, and I feel like the back-to-back bans on Eve really speak to kind of Chinese meta and how they get punished by stealth. The fact that Twitch is so strong, Kha'Zix is so strong, I think really speaks to the fact that they don't have a lot of ward coverage.
Well, unless you're Energy Pacemaker Hong Kong, that last game was just a forest of pink wards, and if they start getting ahead again, I think it definitely benefits the team that is able to set up picks better to continue to roll ahead just because they can afford those pink wards with the extra gold they're picking up. This time, Energy Pacemaker seems to be going for a bit of a different comp. They definitely have more kite away. And whoa, is this going to be a Yasuo lock-in for Zune?
We've talked about a couple times how Yasuo is played pretty much across the board in China. A very priority pick here, so not going to be surprised to see that go down. Zoom did show up on the cast, and so obviously showing that he is proficient in the assassin range of mid laners. Unfortunately, couldn't get the carry going off. Last game might see a turnaround with his Yasuo pick. Yasuo definitely very strong. Bringing in the Lulu, they have multiple ways to knock people up with the Wild Grove, so expect to see some synergy there.
Yeah, they're going to lock that one in for the last. Yes, not only that, they have 300 Rockin' Leona, which is definitely a pick that he's shown quite a lot of proficiency on in the LSBL matches we've seen thus far. 300 is a very aggressive support, so it was kind of strange to see him on a Sona last time where he wasn't really able to be aggressive, and I think this is a much better pickup for VG Gaming. This comp certainly looks a lot stronger than what they had before.
I definitely agree with you, but on that same token, I'm almost afraid that we didn't see the crescendos, and obviously the Braum was kind of a factor there. Braum, of course, can just stop that crescendo right in its tracks. Isn't going to see Braum this game, but to give 300 another pretty much hard engage champion, like it's pretty much all on him to start these fights, and last game it just did not happen.
No, and they haven't built as much of a comp around Yasuo as they might have been able to had they opted for a different support, although Nami was already off the table. I think this was a pretty nice pickup just because they get a little extra tankiness out of Leona. Leaving the Kale for Amazing J, though, again, that definitely feels like a mistake.
And I feel like the composition on Energy Pacemaker is really well suited to how they're playing the game currently. And this is what I'm meaning by this. When you bring a Ziggs, you're bringing Anti-Siege and you're bringing Siege. Obviously, you pair that with the Lucian, you're able to burn down towers rather effectively. And then you bring the Kale, which offers up the versatility of a split push like we saw last game. So I really like this kind of back and forth. They pretty much encompass everything that they need to as far as being an objective-focused team.
Well, and this time, both these teams have, I think, a little more even compositions, although Energy Pacemaker seems a little bit oddly placed. I'm not really sure how the Kha'Zix is going to fit into this one. Maybe you can pair it up with, like, a Nami ult to where you can slow everyone down. I know you normally use it for disengage, but you can use it for engage as well when you want to, like, try and set up a pick on somebody when their enemy team is running away scared. I don't really know how this is going to play out, because I don't usually see this kind of composition that Energy Pacemaker's rocking.
Well, think about it like this way. They pretty much have everything they want except for quote-unquote hard engage. You have the disengage from Nami, you have the tower siege / anti-siege between Lucian and Ziggs. You then have the assassination or superficial tankiness with Kha'Zix, as well as the roam mobility there, and then you have the split push, and again, more superficial tankiness with Kale. So don't think of Kha'Zix as synergizing look completely across the board with the composition, but what he's there to do with the help of the intervention and his ultimate.
Yeah, okay, well that makes a little bit more sense to me, I suppose. But there's definitely a weakness in there, and that is being able to get bursted down. If they catch Amazing J and Captain before they really hit their stride, and especially pre-6 too, where there's not going to be a Kale ultimate available to save anyone, this is going to end fights really quickly. So Energy Pacemaker playing a very high-risk, high-reward composition. And opposite end of that spectrum, they're playing a very safe opener as they just do a line of scrimmage. VG Gaming doing the same thing. This is sort of like the what would you call it? The calm before the storm.
Gets a little bit of a sneaky Skyward over there. Does manage to hit the bush though. So again, this is going to be the second game between these two teams. VG Gaming now on the blue side, Energy Pacemaker Hong Kong now on the purple side. This is the Demacia Cup. It is a best of 3, so match set point for Energy Pacemaker. If they walk away with this, sudden death would mean the in for VG Gaming here.
Yeah, they do not want to give that one up, and I think they're going a little bit more to the comfort picks as well this time, and that's definitely showing that they are taking this one very seriously. Going to have a pretty standard start. Both junglers going to take their bot side buffs. We'll see Ami trying to get in and put a lot of damage early on as he's picking up the red buff, but that's something that Lee Sins, of course, like to do. Lane swaps coming in as well. They want to try and shut down Amazing J. Didn't work so well last time. See if they can pull it off this time.
And again, another standard jungle start from both sides. Captain starting his blue buff. It is going to be Amy starting his red buff there. So kind of that race. Oh, nope. I was going to say it was a race to the top lane, but it is going to be a 2v1 lane swap, which typically we don't see a lot of Leonas go into a lane swap just because it doesn't favor them. Obviously, Twitch, we talked about how he wants that extended lane period because he wants to ramp up into late game. But I'm actually really curious. I would have thought that with the Leona, especially Leona taking Ignite, that they would have chosen to go toe-to-toe and do a 2v2.
Yeah, and also we didn't touch on it, but Zune could have easily picked up the Yasuo instead of carry, and that would have made this mid lane very, very difficult for Ziggs as the backline dives. It's really, really strong. Oh, the junglers are gonna find each other out here as the buddy system is contesting over the red. And they're gonna pretty big roam on the side, forcing a flash away from Aimi as the mid laners do come up on the side of Energy Pacemaker, and this is going to be a little bit of a level 1 jungle fight. Zune going to find Captain out. He's going to flash away as well. Domo's in the area. I don't think he's going to be able to get away from this one, but he is going to burn his flash, and that will turn it all on around, and everybody got pulled except for Kane, who didn't really get the memo. He's just going to keep farming away, so it is a 5v4 right now, but Energy Pacemaker doing a pretty good job of keeping it safe.
They are going to aggro this red buff, but it may not be over. I quickly want to... Oh, wait, the flash.
Oh, that was all bait, and they do get the red buff as well as nearly a kill onto Captain. They are going to trade 1-for-1 jungler for support, and I think VG Gaming will be very happy with that as they take a red buff away as well as trade a clutch kill.
Definitely much more important to get that jungle out of the early game. It's certainly going to put Kha'Zix very far behind. I did want to touch about the fact that they put carry on the Yasuo, like you said, instead of putting it on Zune in the mid lane. I think that roam was exactly why. Bringing a strong level 1 champion like Yasuo to a roam, to a red buff invade, was the key there. The damage from Yasuo early is huge, especially in comparison to Lulu. Not that Zune did get involved on that, but I definitely think that this was thought out, this was planned, and again, great execution from VG Gaming.
Yeah, and we saw 300 executing the dive in there, and pretty much sacking for the sake of taking down Captain as well. So a good trade for them as they go back to a little bit more normalcy. The 2v1 lane will begin, although there's a bit of a jungle buddy system. Carry, however, has to be careful in the spot lane as he's just taking free shots from Lucian.
I do feel, though, that if a champion is ever going to 2v1 effectively, Yasuo does have a lot of tools on his composition. Obviously not push down under a tower where he's just going to take pot shots, but when he gets level 6, a little bit more levels, a little bit more bang in the bank, this is going to be a very scary lane if Kane and Domo X are continuously in it. Those dashes are pretty punishing.
And he's going to get more experience, too, just because he's in 2v1 lane now. Domo's coming around the side. Aimi's going to find him there, too, so they'll just keep warding up with the trinkets. And it'll be interesting to watch the Vision game this time. I think that Vici is going to learn this lesson from last time. They obviously don't have any sweepers just yet. Very early in the game, give it time. But they should be able to answer what happened last game in time. I think they have learned quite so well, just from the way they're playing right now. They seem like a different team.
Definitely, and Captain going to go ahead and try to leech some experience, get himself back in this, but Ami's still in that jungle, left unchecked, getting the free farm, is possibly looking top to do a 3v2.
Yeah, the Captain's been drawn up there already, and he's an easier one to dive, honestly, than Kale, so Emi with the double buffs, too. He's going to be a pretty scary threat. We'll see if he manages to pick this one. He's waiting very patiently right now for an opening.
They have to be careful, though, because Leona is still level 2. Yeah, he's going to back off.
Oh, carry! Oh, he's going very aggressive. Gets caught up on a bubble. Kane's going to go around. Double tap. Ignite's ticking. This is going to be another kill. He flashes just to make sure he gets it. And down he goes. Meanwhile, up in the top, they are still looking to set this one. But Ziggs is starting to roam in that general direction. You might find him. Emi's going to be able to get a Sonic Wave off, but now he's spotted out by a ward, getting jumped on by Captain, and they're out of the area. They're going to have to get into the turret range to do it. He's going to be able to safeguard away. Amazing J's going to go down. Nice coordinated effort right there by VG Gaming, and now Energy Pacemaker on the run back. Captain, he should be able to go down here. Well, nice disengage with the Ziggs. They're going to flash for it, though. I think they're going to take it. One more, and where did Bobo come from? He just completely annihilated that one. They're going to get another kill onto Ziggs as well. So 2 for none in that trade. 3 for none if you count Amazing J a minute ago. Nicely done by Vici.
And they also get the teleport out from Amazing J right there. And with 4 members of Vici Gaming kind of in the area, that really might mean nothing for him. Pings are going down, yet he realizes, he's like, you know what, maybe I don't want to be here. Quickly backs off of that tower.
Yeah, now they're pushing really far. They still want Amazing J. 300 going to get the stun in, and the lockup taking tower shots as he goes. He's going to manage to pick it up, and Zune taking a tower shot as well. Lulu roaming really well, but this is a nice aggressive push that they're continuing. Carry still holding this bot lane. So impressive right now. 300 is going to go down to Captain, though, and they'll start to turn it on around. Stayed a little bit too long.
And with that Vici Gaming night and day from the last one, Carry getting a little cheeky with these dashes there. I feel like this is the strength of Yasuo. He really freaks a lot of people out. Kane actually going to take a tower shot for his trouble.
Yeah, but he's up to 6 right now, too, and Carry has actually only hit 5 as he was denied a little bit of farm earlier on and denied a little bit of XP by being taken out a bit. People, it seems like, really are not afraid to burn these flashes in this kind of awkward, wonky laning phase just because you never know when you're going to get another chance to do it. And so far, it's paying out for him. Carry, he's got to be so careful. This tower can fall any minute. Emmy's going to be in here. They're going to look for the dive here. He's not 6 yet. He doesn't have the last breath, but they're going to get 300 roaming in as well. Kane's going to go down on this one. The bubble's not going to connect. Carry should be able to finish him off. He's going to just 1v1 it out, and they're going to turn on to Domo-X. They are going to be able to get this 2 kills. Lulu going to roam to try and secure it up in the mid lane. And for some reason, Captain Zig's not really doing a whole lot to try and stop this as well. Going to aggro the dragon. Nice cheeky effort by Domo, but it's going to be too little too late. Down it goes, and this is going to be a dragon now.
Unfortunately, Domo put them pretty much on the front door of the dragon to give them that clear objective. We do see the Mega Inferno Bomb available, so a steal is possible.
He could try to contest this, and captains are on the side, but there's no question that they can take the full engage. Oh, he just misses getting the steal off with the Mega Inferno Bomb, and now he is going to have to answer for that one, as everybody on VG is very low but very angry. I think they'll settle for just chasing him off.
The teams look like they've literally changed places right now. VG Gaming being so point on these rotations, making sure that they're finding the roams, finding the kills that they need, and pretty much super clean early game. I mean, this is one global objective down for them, but they have the dragon in response. They got all of the kills. This Twitch is down in CS by 10 CS, but up 3 kills. So across the map, their influence and pressure is just incredible. Night and day from last game.
Yeah, it's really amazing, the turnarounds, and this could very easily go to a Game 3 if VG just keeps up this effort. A big part of it, I think, was the picks. You really saw a strikingly different team composition being set up right now. I think the first game VG went into it perhaps a little overconfident. This time, they're playing a lot safer, a lot better overall. They're still getting, I won't say denied vision in a lot of places. They're not quite warding up in everywhere they should, but it's been sufficient to be able to make these picks. And, well, they're up a decent bit of gold right now, so I guess it's working for them.
Definitely. As we come up into this 10-minute mark, the dragon down, so no global objective contested there, but Carry going hard.
He's looking for the dive, and Kane, he does get the ult off now, and Carry and 300 are going to be able to mop up Kane. They're taking tower shots as they go. The 300's got to be extremely careful. He's nearly going down, but they managed to trade it out way anyways. 300, oh god, run away from those minions. He's going to save his own life.
He could have just turned around and practiced Targon, so got a little close with that cannon creep. Not quite sure why.
A bit overly aggressive, but, you know, we've been talking about 300. He is like a Spartan. He wants to go in on this, and he doesn't care if he dies for it. One thing we haven't touched on as much is Bobo has been a huge part of these roam kills that we were seeing earlier on, and the dragon fights as well. Bobo has been fantastic. 4-0-1 right now on Twitch. He might be a little down in farm compared to Kane, but I would argue that that's really not even that big a deal, just because of the kill difference and the fact that Twitch isn't really going to compete to a Lucian in farm.
Well, 15 CS equates to kill, so Twitch is only, 8 CS down now because the wave is pushed into him. It's pretty much a 10 CS difference right now, but 3 kills up on Lucian, so you do the math, you are correct. Bobo is exactly where he wants to be.
Working out so far very well for them on the side of VG Gaming S, and they're still looking to continue and prolong this lane phase a little bit. They want to push this advantage and just sort of preserve it. They have a pretty good late game comp, except for maybe Emmy, but I can't help but thinking that they could really be rotating a little bit more right now and trying to set up more picks, whereas they're just sort of happy to sit on what they have. And this might be a mistake.
The one thing the VG Gaming's comp isn't bringing, although they are bringing the dive.
There we go, up in the top lane. Oh, there's a teleport that gets brought in as well, Amazing J. And, well, they're going to try and turn onto Bobo, but I think he's safe enough to be able to get out of there. He's going to ambush away. Now they're looking to collapse onto this one. Domo and Amazing J know this is happening. 300 and Carry are on the outside. They're going to get the ult off onto Domo. He's going to get the other ult. Amazing J going to pop that one to keep him alive for just a minute. Kick back. No, you are denied the second tower. Down you go. And that's 2 kills for them. The Super Mega Inferno Bomb, I'm always misspelling that one, or mispronouncing that one's going to connect, but not going to take any kills. Kane's going to pick up a kill on the outside onto Bobo. Nicely done with the revenge. It's actually going to be another kill. Zig's getting taken down in the process. Bobo getting that one. Kane somehow stays alive in all this, but they have the option to dive him. I don't think Emmy wants to, though. All in all, they're going to trade 3 for 1, and they should be able to pick this tower up as well. VG Gaming just better team fights.
Better roams. They're really just getting the advantage onto these team fights. I mean, look at when you had the Leona Yasuo, it was pretty much, I'll take this one, you take that one. The team collapsed perfectly. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. A completely different VG Gaming that we're seeing this second time around. And this is what I'd heard.
Carry.
Ooh, has the red buff block. No, he's going to get out. He's fine.
Yeah.
VG Gaming is pretty well known for being a higher LSPL. Again, we talked about how they have the head coach of Tabe, has a reputation behind him there, and just did not show in that first game against Energy Pacemaker. We talked about how Energy Pacemaker does have more quote-unquote LPL experience there because they're bringing in Amazing J, bringing in Domo X and Kane, but definitely a completely different game for them this time around. We talked about how their composition is more geared towards sieging, anti-siege, split push, things like that, but so far in the early game, they needed to kind of survive it, and it's gotten a little bit out of control. Gold lead's still pretty confident for them, but 12-4 in kills.
Yeah, Kane has been allowed to get a little bit more back into this game, but it's nothing compared to what Bobo's had. He is 8-1, and he's just able to push this tower down almost by himself. Emmy's going to help him out. But if you look at it, what have they done differently this game that was constant in the last game? They've shut down Amazing J so well, and this is what they tried to do last time and just didn't quite succeed at. This time, the roams were very heavy in the top lane, and Amazing J has pretty much had to call for help almost constantly to prevent this from happening, and he's still gone down 3 times and only gotten 2 assists to show for it. His item difference at 13 minutes is massively different. I think he had a Nashor's completed at 17 last game. And he might be on track to get that again, but you can really tell that they're focusing a lot of effort onto the sort of the known carries of Energy Pacemaker this time.
Well, really the strength of playing games back-to-back and building up that adaptation strategy, obviously recognizing that Amazing J was a powerhouse for his team last time on that KL pick, gets it again, but is immediately punished, and this steal actually goes over to Emmy.
Oh my goodness, and the teleport in too. Vici just taking advantage of a situation where they were vulnerable, and Amazing J going to go down to the poison. Actually, they didn't take him down. They waited a second, and now go. Okay. That was a delayed release. All right, there we go. So the poison is going to take away and take down Amazing J at the end of it, and they're going to rotate onto this mid turret as well. So it's almost a complete reversal of last game as they're starting to find a nice rhythm to work in. Vici Gaming just now being the action and prompting a reaction out of Energy Pacemaker.
And with that, they are going to rotate onto this dragon here, so again, I'm always really impressed when teams are able to pick fights and then immediately transition into dragons. We saw this really in the Fnatic. I know this is super throwback, but the Fnatic versus Royal Club game at Worlds, Fnatic actually had more kills.
That was a while away.
I know, right? Throwing it back.
You got that memory going. Good.
No, they would pick fights. Fnatic actually had more kills, but Royal Club would pick fights and then transfer straight into objectives. What is happening here? What is the same about those teams? It's the head coach Tabe. Just throwing that one out there, dropping a little bit of knowledge.
Yep, and I really do think that he's capable of making these one-game turnarounds, and I would have loved to be in there in the little booth just to say, like, okay, what is he telling them right now? What is he yelling at them about it? Maybe he's telling 300, pick a champion you can actually all in on this time. It seems to have paid off for them as they're 13-4. They have themselves a 6,500 gold lead. They're playing the vision game a little bit better. You notice there's a pretty solid amount of blue wards over by the river in the dragon side as well, and a few in the baron side. It's still not quite at that level, but they also have bought sweepers this time. Look at the number of sweepers on VG Gaming. They've got 4 to the 3 of their opponents. They are playing this vision game so much better, and just the one-game turnarounds are incredible.
Exactly right, and as we come up into the 15-30 minute mark, a little bit of stagnant play here. Map is busted out decently open, gives Twitch a little bit more room to play. He's going to free farm that bottom lane, though, probably get that pushback river. Look at something mid. With the dragon down, most important tower objective is going to be that mid-tier second tower. Unfortunately, still very early, and against a Ziggs who now has enough points in his Q and E combo, it's pretty hard to siege against, which this is what I really wanted to talk about VG Gaming's composition. They have a great dive comp anytime you bring a Yasuo and Leona, but to siege towers, they literally need to win team fights, make a dive. They cannot do a prolonged kind of guerrilla warfare tactics on a siege tower. They just don't have it in the composition.
Now, I can't keep denying jungle, and that's definitely going to help out and neutralize Captain as well this game. As long as they keep stretching resources thin, they shouldn't have too much trouble. They're going to find Amazing J on the outside, too, here. They're going to take him down. His ult wasn't even... Oh, no, it was up, and he spent it a little early, so he goes down hardly with a fight there. And now they're going to dive forward. Here's the dive you're talking about. Captain's going to stealth away. And they're going to go for Domo. He's going to disengage with the tidal wave. They're still going to go back onto him. Mega Inferno Bomb going to land. Captain's in the fight, but he's out of it now. Bobo is going to get the kill onto Kane. They're going to dive for Nami. So all of a sudden, they have almost no one able to contest this. Captain is frantically backing. They see him in the bush there. They know he's there, chasing him away. He's getting ticked on right now, and I cannot believe how well VG Gaming is rotating on this, taking fights and taking names. They're almost 10K in the lead. They're going to take the second tier tower.
Energy Pacemaker needs to fall back on their strengths on Ziggs. This chase, though, Amy going so deep.
Oh my god, he could almost go down. He's missing the Sonic Wave, but he will connect with the kick to the chin, or whatever Kha'Zix has for a chin, and take him down. Now that they're looking for Ziggs as well. Taking tower shots all the way. 300. He gives absolutely zero cares about that tower shot. And, man, this guy is so aggressive, making big plays for his team and making it happen, just tanking up everything. So, well played there. Again, Vici takes another kill off the board as the chase concluded in that top lane as well. Completely gets out unscathed.
And it's amazing because, again, you look at Energy Pacemaker's composition. They have the Kale intervention. They have the Tidal Wave. Both are huge key ultimates. And even the stealth from Kha'Zix there that say, like, don't dive us. We can disengage this really well. We can absorb all of that burst damage. But VG Gaming doing a fantastic job finding these picks, making these better rotations, and getting the timing and the jump on these tower dives that are just allowing them to steamroll it. I feel like a lot of LPL teams, they have the weakness, or excuse me, Chinese teams, because these are LSPL teams, they have the weakness that they don't realize when they're strong. VG Gaming knows when they're strong, and they are punishing Energy Pacemaker for it.
They're definitely going for the juggler in a lot of these fights, and you see what huge targets they have painted all over the map at this point. They have a 5-in-1 Yasuo. They have a 10-in-1 Twitch. Both Bobo and Carry are extremely terrifying at this point, and there's no way that Energy Pacemaker can duel it out. The best hope they have right now is to turtle up, push waves out whenever they get a chance, try to sneak a bit of jungle back when they can, but this is going to be the Baron bait. This is a 18-minute Baron that is being attempted by Vici Gaming Hessen. Again, this is a region that loves its Barons, and they're doing it so early. They're bursting it down incredibly fast. This is going to be uncontested. I don't believe it. A 19-minute Baron goes uncontested to Vici Gaming S.
It doesn't hurt the fact that they do have a Yasuo and Twitch on the same team. Of course, Yasuo didn't have his secondary Bork that is going to be his next big item, but you did have the Bork available on Twitch there, which allows that to go down relatively quickly. But, ooh, Kane being found.
Oh yeah, that is a lot of your health that is suddenly missing from that bar. Dragon's coming up in another minute. They're really just running the tables on this one. And with the Baron buff, they should be able to dive a lot more confidently now. Yes, they didn't have as much of a siege to go into. We always talk about Ziggs being the quintessential anti-siege. You have amazing Jay, who should be able to provide a lot of safe protection from dives, but he's just not been allowed to ramp up this game at all. Still doesn't have his Gnasher's Tooth. They have no answer to this push.
You're absolutely right, and coming up onto this 1943, 37k to 25k, over a 10k gold advantage, this time on the other side of the tables.
Yep, and it's amazing what one game turnaround and a break can make. I mean, it's incredible. This is going to be another 1-1 split if this continues as planned. I mean, of course, it is a best of 3, so there will have to be a winner at the end of the day, but we'll talk about it afterwards because the Insect is caught out in his own jungle. Emmy tries to kick him away, but he'll settle for some rates instead. They're pushing onto this tower. Here's the dive and engage. Oh my goodness, the surrender comes out as they go for a last desperate effort. So it is a 1-1 split right now. VG Gaming coming up big in the second game, forcing the 20-minute FF out of Energy Pacemaker Hong Kong, and we're going to game 3.
I'm actually really shocked that they didn't try to sit that out at least 2 more fights. I feel like we talked about how they have almost an anti-dive comp versus a really strong dive comp. Like, you have the disengage from Nami, you have the intervention, you have the stealth. And I feel like they never gave themselves a chance to kind of see how that would work 5v5. It was always, again, those rotations, those picks that were really working out for VG Gaming. But Chinese mentality is that if you're already talking about what needs to happen next game, that you might as well surrender it and keep morale up. So you are correct, we're going to game 3, but we're going to do a quick commercial break because I'm sure the stream will kick over to some exciting Chinese entertainment.
I feel so bad for that guy who keeps dying. But I love that commercial. It's like a guilty pleasure.
I know, right? It's fantastic. But we'll be right back.